Over the past several years, I've combined my degrees in acting and somatic psychology to share my sustaining creativity techniques with performers. And now I've decided to share it with a bigger audience that includes you. I believe we are all creative, and this podcast is all about that. I'll be interviewing people from all backgrounds, ages, and creativity experiences to share just how creative we all are. Today, I'll be chatting with Danella Mercati, founder of ChiChi Fit. Please enjoy Danella Mercati. Welcome to the Sustaining Creativity Podcast. Today I'm chatting with Danella Mercati, founder of ChiChi Fit. Welcome to the podcast.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
I am very excited to chat with you about creativity and how that shows up in your life. But before we get there, why don't you take a couple of minutes and let our listeners know a little bit more about who Danella is and what it is you do?
Sure. Okay, so I'm Danella Mercati, and I am the founder of ChiChi Fit, which is a fitness brand that fuses the world of dance with the world of musical theatre and Broadway, which adds a dimension to it that has kind of allowed us to totally reimagine fitness, where we take you on an experience through class that will not only get you fitter, physically fitter, and obviously more fabulous, but you get that journey where you kind of feel like you have stepped onto the stage. Whilst it is a physical workout, I would say that the majority of people, class members, come out having felt on an emotional level something far deeper and far more addictive than just getting fit. It's definitely not designed for kind of hardcore gym bunnies and athletes. It really is for those people who want to get fitter in the most fun and fabulous way possible, who perhaps love theatre and perhaps love musical theatre, but it isn't necessarily that you won't love it if you don't love those things. And yeah, a fun way to get fit that you can commit to it through show tunes. So the entire playlist of a class is show tunes. We don't learn to be dancers, but we feel like dancers. The choreography is suitably simple but effective to make you look and feel like a dancer, even if you've never danced a step in your life. The aim is to take you through a variety of show tunes in every single class. So you've tapped into the modern ones, the golden oldies, the golden era, all of those things. So somewhere in amongst it, your heart and mind will have truly been on the most exciting emotional journey that will then obviously translate into better health and better fitness, but primarily a very happy, joyful experience.
I love it. I am a self-proclaimed theater nerd. I love a Broadway musical and have a degree in acting as well and musical theater. So I love utilizing your love of theater to bring fitness and transformations, not only physical transformations, but confidence and your emotional transformation along the journey as well. I'm curious, what is your tie to Broadway and musical theater? Is this your love of theater, or is that where you started? And tell us a little
Yeah.
bit about that journey.
Well, similarly to you, I didn't do the straight acting course, but I did do musical theatre.
Mhm.
But I think, right from a child, I just loved theatre. I didn't go to the theatre that often when I was very little,
Mhm.
but anything I saw had a profound impact on me.
Mhm.
And I would say probably from the age of 6, that's been my truest passion, my hobby, my sort of everything.
Hmm.
And I've never really understood, like I still don't understand when some people go, I've never been to seen a show. Oh, I don't like musicals. I'm like, I
Yes.
just don't get it. My brain can't compute that because I live and breathe it. But I live and breathe it because of how it makes you feel, how
Mm.
theatre makes you feel, how a musical makes you feel. And so obviously my direction in life, and I love dancing, I love music. So all the way through my school years, I did a lot of dancing, all the classes at my local school. And with the aim of, being a West End star one day, the
Mhm.
equivalent to a Broadway star.
Mhm.
And I was very lucky. I got into a really my top choice drama school, and that in itself was the first challenge on the step of the way.
Yeah.
It was like my mom was very keen for me to go down the university route, because being a performer might not work out. And I only had my heart set on one thing, but I
Mhm.
obviously had to get the place. And if I didn't get the place, I would have gone down the university route, and studied English and drama if I'd gone down. Anyway, I was very, very lucky to get the school I wanted, and I was there for 3 years on their musical theatre course. And then that just set me up on this trajectory of I can do musical theatre forever.
Mhm.
I didn't know. I knew that I might. There was a high possibility that I wasn't going to make it onto West End stages or whatever because it's a very small percent who do.
Mhm.
But never did I waver in the fact that whatever I do, it'll involve musical theatre.
Mhm.
Whatever I do. And I
Mhm.
did an awful lot of things in between that got me to where I am now. Combination of teaching musical theatre, directing, choreography. Um, and always with the kind of I was in charge. I could choose what shows I did and when I did them, and that felt really quite empowering and freeing because I wasn't trying to be the performer on stage anymore. I wasn't
Mhm.
waiting to get that role. So
Mhm.
I had a lot of fun doing that, and actually I loved every minute of it and all the wonderful young people it brought into my world. It was really, really satisfying and fulfilling. But I was always passionate about fitness and health. I come from a family who's very holistic in life. And so it's always, when I was a child, I used to get on my bike and cycle to school. It was about 4 miles. And my dad used to run with me. So he'd run alongside the bike and we'd chat. And so it was really normal to see my dad running every day. He got up, he got his running shoes on, I got on my bike, and when I got to school, halfway, he didn't go all the way because it was a bit far because he had to run back again. We'd say our goodbyes at this one particular spot, and it just made sense that you get up in the morning and you get out the door and
Mhm.
you're active. Um, so, I did all the basic things of just being a runner. It's free and easy. And then, I attended an awful lot of classes over the years. And yeah, looking after my health and fitness has always been absolutely key and a big, big passion. But when you put music with it,
Mhm.
with any workout, whatever that music is, so, for listeners who may not be mad about musical theatre, I don't quite get you, but it's possible. Whatever music you love, I really do believe music is a powerful tool
Mhm.
in making everything a little bit more joyful and a little bit easier to commit to. And I felt like the minute you put musical theatre to a workout, and then embrace the style of the show so you get that other level, and then maybe sing along if you want.
Mhm.
Sing along well, sing along badly, belt it out, shout it out, who cares? There's all these layers, and all these layers that are all very optional. Um, they really create something really quite special and unique.
Mhm.
So I'm grateful for the journey that it's taken to get to where I am now because I needed all of that.
Yeah.
And right here, right now, it's a busy, busy business, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
I love that. I love the journey and the amalgamation of all the things that brought you to where you are today. And I'm curious, when you think of creativity, what does it mean to you to be creative?
For me personally, being creative is it's literally leading from my heart and my imagination and not my head. The minute I'm in my head, it's because I'm doing admin and business. But when I'm being creative, which thankfully is about 70%, 75% of my job, I lead from my heart and my imagination. I really have to trust that magical ideas will come my way. They always do. It's not always immediate, but I trust the process. I think creativity requires a level of bravery,
Mhm.
you know, trusting those instincts. Um, and yeah, for me, creativity is kind of how I connect with the world. It's how ChiChi Fit was born, actually. it wasn't born out of like a business plan. It was born out of this exciting idea where I just got creative. And even to this day, I do obviously have to attend important meetings from time to time and quite business-based meetings. And I get asked all the time these, I need to deliver sort of figures and facts. And I'm just like, speak to the businessman on that because I lead from a place where my biggest desire is to reach as many, many people in this entire world
Mhm.
and touch them with musical theatre and help them move their bodies more and help them feel fitter. And if that's the driving force to growing the business and then it hits the figures that the businessman wants, whoopee doo. But it's not the place I drive the business from. So I guess
Mhm.
for me, yeah, that's creativity and the people I get to connect with on a
Mhm.
daily basis, the people who attend classes, all the instructors out there. For me, yeah, that connection with them and the creativity that we all share, this kind of desire to bring to life these routines in class, let people express themselves, help them grow in confidence, help them feel better about themselves, help them leave a class feeling so much more elevated than when they arrived in class. And we're kind of collectively doing that. And yeah, for me, that's creativity.
I love it. I love the distinction of leading from your heart and not your head, and knowing that if you are in your head, you're not doing your creative presence and expression.
Mm.
And when you talk about trust and trusting yourself, and for people who this may be a challenge or a foreign concept of how do you trust yourself? What are some
Okay.
of the ways that you do?
Right, this is actually this is really I've learned this very recently. So it's taken a number of decades to get to this stage. But when I say I have to trust myself, for example, I'm going to choreograph a new routine, and sometimes moves don't come out of my body, nothing happens, and I'm like, I've got 4.5 minutes here to fill with something that's not only effective fitness wise and doing great stuff for your body that's going to be good for you, but it's got to capture the feel and the essence of the musical. It's got to bring the show to life in 4.5 minutes. And I play the song and I play the song and it's not happening. So I take a moment and I trust it will happen.
Mm.
And sometimes I just leave it playing on repeat. And sometimes someone will walk into the room, my husband or one of my kids, and I'll say, when you hear this song, what does your body want to do? And I just watch what their bodies sort of improv to get a feel. And eventually, and it's astonishing, by saying, I know something will come,
Mm.
it does. It truly
Mm.
does. It comes. But then, is it right? This is the new step I've just learned, and I get very excited when I know it's right. And when I know it's right, it's because of how it made me feel.
Mm.
It's not because there was enough grapevines and knee ups and what have you. It's because the song came to an end and I felt all the feels and everything about it felt so good. And
Mhm.
that is on an emotional, mental, and physical level. And
Mhm.
then I don't need to ask anyone else's opinion. If I feel it, I know the feeling. And I get very excited then to deliver it to my classes where I always
Yeah.
trial all the content. And then when I know it's been really well received, I then
Mm.
deliver it to all the ChiChi Fit instructors so that they get the best of the best. But yeah, I trust the process. It's not always quick and easy, but I it does always happen. And then when I trust that my gut instinct will say that feels perfect.
I appreciate the breakdown of trusting and then is it right? That how does that feel in your body and does it capture everything that you're looking to capture? When things maybe don't go as smoothly or easily and there's a little more challenge, how do you face those more creative challenge experiences?
I probably have a few little diva moments. There is an actress within me too. But again, I think I embrace challenges and sort of face challenges in the same way that I choreograph a routine. I go
Mm.
in with my heart before my head.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, and I lean into emotion and I lean into the
Mm,
way it's all making me feel. Um, and yeah, and I constantly have to remind myself because, what I've been doing with ChiChi Fit is really reimagining fitness. There are some fabulous group exercise classes everywhere around the UK and no doubt across in the US. And I've taken inspiration from many of them, Zumba being one. I love the fact that that was the dance fitness brand that woke people up to the fact that you don't need to be fit or a certain way or a certain type
mm,
or a certain look or a certain skill set to just go in and move your body like you're having a party. So
hmm
that's always been a big inspiration to me, that thing. So I think when the idea for Chi Chi Fit came about, it was rather than going in and feeling like you're having a party, um, what I wanted to capture was that we're on a Broadway stage, that we are in the
mm,
spotlight, that we're the star. For that moment, any ordinary, I say that without being derogatory in any way, person who's never stepped on a stage or had any desire to step on a stage, but has perhaps sat and watched people on stage and gone, wow, what a wonderful, glamorous, glossy, glitzy world it is. I want them to have that experience.
mm.
So when they come to a class, I want them to feel like they've stepped into Broadway. Um, and so I have to, I do creatively get challenged in the sense of, is what I'm doing still on the same path? Am I still making brave steps to keep this kind of our sort of USP, our unique selling point intact? Because I don't want to. If somebody is scrolling through social media, for example, and they see a Chi Chi Fit routine pop up, I want them to know it's none of the other things that they might be familiar with, because there's something about what they see on screen that screams theatrical fitness,
Hmm.
um, and Broadway. So yeah, it's that heart first, head second, and most challenges are managed.
I can appreciate that. And it is challenging when your head wants to get into it and try and figure it out versus feel it out. And coming back into your body, it sounds like you trust your body in ways people may not yet.
Yeah.
And by participating in Chi Chi Fit, maybe they will experience what it is to trust their body a little bit deeper and a little bit more to have that same experience or that same performing creative spark in their life.
Yeah, and Tony, and one of the things that I do personally, and I also train our instructors to do in an ideal world, is no mirrors.
Ah.
Mirrors absolutely crush creativity. The
Mm,
minute you can see yourself and start judging and
mm,
criticizing and critiquing yourself, the creativity dies.
hmm
If there's nothing there, I promise what happens in your imagination and how you imagine you look, because it's actually based on how you feel,
hmm
is so much more powerful and effective than seeing yourself and criticizing yourself. So I guess that's just come to me in this moment, that when you were talking about the experience of participants who come to these classes, I really do say, if you're in a studio with mirrors, have your back to their backs to the mirrors.
hmm
No one needs to see themselves. Transport them into this place where they look and feel like stars, uh,
mm.
without anything to interrupt that.
That's amazing. And yeah, the idea of how creativity can be crushed when we start critiquing ourselves or critiquing other people or worrying that other people are critiquing us. And as a performer in the theater world, we face so much of that critique from others. So that distinction in Chi-Chi Fit where it isn't about the critique, it's about how it makes you feel and
Yeah,
how
actually,
that shows up.
you've really touched on something that again is kind of fresh in my thinking, which is being a performer. It's kind of painful how much of it is about how you look and how all this kind of breaking you down. And I don't think I quite realized until this moment that actually ChiChi Fit is the absolute opposite.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like when you go to an audition as a performer, you're hoping to fit the bill, to look the part, to be either this, to be talented enough, to have ticked all the boxes that they want to get the job. Everyone who walks through the door in Chi Chi Fit has got the job. You know,
Right.
they've come
Yeah.
and they guaranteed are going to walk out, one, singing a song from a show all the way
Yeah.
home, um, and two, feeling the confidence of
Mm.
not having been critiqued in any way. And because the classes are quite fast paced, you know, we don't faff around with turnout and technique. It's just
Mhm.
put the music on, copy and follow to a certain extent. And most of it is manageable. And obviously, the more you come, the easier it all becomes. But
Mhm.
no one can take their eyes off their instructor. If you take your eye off the instructor, you lose your way.
Mhm.
So, what's really liberating for the class is they know no one is looking at them because everyone is eyeballing the instructor. And I love that. I love when I'm standing at the front of a class. I love seeing the fact that, I mean, sometimes I feel like I've got laser beams coming through my body, but I can see that none of them are aware or feeling inhibited in
Mm.
any way. So they can truly just let go and have a great time. Some pick it up quicker than others, and it never matters.
Mhm.
Um, and I love that. I think,
Yeah.
again, inhibitions kill creativity. So if you
Absolutely.
can lose inhibitions, creativity flows.
Yeah, what a gift to be able to give people for however long the class is to come and not feel critiqued or judged, and that they
Mm,
get to participate in something that's fun and athletic and I don't joyful is what I'm also
mm.
hearing too. And for people who may not feel creative, how would you encourage them to find creativity in their life?
Well, I think creativity is every part of life. It's
Mhm.
how you dress, how you move, um, sort of, yeah, sort of so many elements of how you behave are your creativity. And I've
Mm-hmm.
certainly got to a stage in life where I don't particularly worry what people think. I love color. I love glitter. I love anything that sort of evokes a smile or anything that can make a day more joyful.
Mm.
I would encourage people to sing in the car, sing in the shower, dance in the kitchen, wear sequins. I'm a firm believer sequins are not just for Christmas. You know, sequins can transform how you feel.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, put sequins on and you feel so glittery and glam. So, yeah, I think a big message to anyone and everyone listening is put on some sequins,
I
sparkle
love it.
brighter.
Yes, to be brighter and bolder and show
Yeah,
up in ways, whether it's in public or just for yourself, that it
yeah,
doesn't matter.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, this has been such a treat getting to chat with you. I have one last question.
Mhm.
What does it feel like in your body to be creative?
Beautiful.
Hmm.
It feels really beautiful to be creative because it's all those things that we touched on. It's lack of judgment, lack of inhibitions, joy, giving. You mentioned something just a moment ago, which was that that sense that people can come to a class and not be judged and then go out leaving a certain way. And do you know what I would say? Probably that's been the biggest overwhelm to me
Hmm.
of the success of Chi Chi Fit. And it was something I never anticipated because when you create something to deliver, you're sort of strategically going through are all the is the choreography great? Does it make me feel amazing? Is it going to make them feel amazing? Is it achievable? Is it all these things? But what I never anticipated was the feedback
Hmm.
from the people who then experience that class that you've creatively, but very strategically and, with a level of expertise and other people put together in hope that this product will be what you want it to be. I had no idea of how how powerfully it affects people in a really, really positive way. Um, so yeah, I guess on a level of creativity and continuing to be creative in my role, it
Mm,
is exactly that, reaching more and more people with
hmm
hoping that they might bravely step into a dance class, a fitness class that's linked to music
hmm
primarily, and ChiChi Fit if you've got an instructor near you, and experience for themselves. I
I
just do it
love it.
every better. So yeah,
Yes, that's amazing. And what a gift you are sharing with people to have that confidence and that moment of feeling like they're on stage. In not everyone gets to experience that, and that I
yeah.
think is such a gift to share. So thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me. If people want to learn more about ChiChi Fit and taking a class or the other things you have out in the world, how could they go about doing that?
Oh, well, firstly, visit our website, chichi-fit.co.uk. And on there, it will show you obviously about the classes. If you've got an instructor local to you, we do have a few in the US. It needs to grow further, but there's
Yeah.
plenty in the UK. But for the US listeners, um, you would perhaps want to do ChiChi Fit on demand. We've got an on-demand studio, and you can just get fit, turn your living room into a stage, and get fit and fabulous at home in your own time. Or do a training, and if you felt like you had it in you to lead a class, the more instructors the better. It's a wonderful community. Community is everything. Community is creativity as well.
hmm
Sorry, that's a huge part as well of the
Yeah.
creative process, is the community you create. Anyway, sorry, tangent. Anyway, yeah, visit the website, or you can find us on Instagram, chichifit.dancefit, and on Facebook as well, Chichi Dance Fit. So yeah, come and find us on our socials, and connect and say hi and tell me your favorite musical. In fact, Mary, what is your favorite musical?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
There are so many that I absolutely love, but one of my all-time favorites is Into the Woods. It's Steven Spielberg.
Oh, classy.
Yeah.
Sondheim. I
Yeah.
like that.
But I was able to be in a production of Mamma Mia a couple of years ago, and that was hands down the most fun I've had on stage in a very long time.
I can imagine. Very different to Into the Woods, but yeah,
Yes,
Mamma Mia is a big hit in Chi Chi Fit. Nearly
I
every
bet.
and quite well performed in Chi Chi Fit.
I love it. Well, maybe I'll have to join you all for a class someday and see how it is in
Yeah.
my own body. But thank you, Danella, so much for taking the time to chat with me. I have thoroughly enjoyed our conversation.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for listening to the Sustaining Creativity Podcast. We'd love to keep in touch, so follow us on Facebook and Instagram. We are at Sustaining Creativity. Make sure to subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. Tag your friends and family so they can listen too. We love to hear from you, so leave your reviews, comments, and questions. Check out our website, sustainingcreativity.com, for upcoming offerings and creativity coaching. Tune in Tuesdays for our next episode. And remember, with creativity, anything's possible.